PRX kicked off their Masters Toronto run by absolutely bulldozing Heretics. No mercy, no breaks. From start to finish, it was classic PRX chaos. Fast, furious, and flat out overwhelming.
It's down in dugouts. Something tries to emerge behind the flash and Wood is caught with utilities hand. There is something.
But the real show came in the decider. PRX versus Team Liquid. A 3-map brawl that nearly gave everyone a heart attack.
Guys, Ilya, save us! Ilya, save us! Heart Attack, are you f***ing serious?
Back and forth momentum swings that went the distance, clutches from hell, and somehow, someway, PRX pulled it off.
He choked. He choked. Get choked, motherfucker! He choked. Thank God, bro.
It wasn't their cleanest showing, but they earned it. The PRX train just derailed all expectations. We thought we knew hype. Well, PRX just cranked it up another notch. But they might need to crank it up even higher. Welcome to snstry, and today we're diving into PRX's wild ride through the Swiss stage at Masters Toronto, where the PRX train tore through the tracks with chaos and just enough near disasters to keep us all sweating.
Drifts out, shot, flying, how to take down the 10, goes for the fight.
But now, that train's about to face its steepest climb yet. If you watched the last video, you knew this was coming. The PRX train pulled up and Heretics got steamrolled.
Jinggg has no time for it though, and Minimoo will get wrapped up. Oh no, don't do it!
Turns out, there's no salvation for the non-believers when PRX is rampaging its way to the playoffs. Every single player looked like they were peaking and putting on a clinic. Let's not forget, there's a little rivalry brewing between these two.
Back in such a short space of time.
The origin story? Last year's Masters Madrid. Same stakes, same chaos, a do-or-die match for a playoff spot. And it all kicked off with that infamous taunt from Neil Zinho. Things got spicy fast. Emotions ran high, egos flared, and something allegedly sent Heretics packing with a good old one-finger salute. You don't forget moments like that. And now, 1 year later, PRX ran it back and made sure there was no room for doubt. No taunts, no middle fingers, just domination.
Nice one, Bri!
Nice one, Pri!
If Heretics wanted revenge, this ain't it. What PRX did against Heretics was something for the record books. It was just so mind-blowing to watch. And honestly, the way I saw the game, especially map 1, was that once the boys in pink decided it was time to hit a site, the round was already over.
Who also has that overdrive at the ready. Here's Jinggg again. They are never ready for Jinggg! From the top rope, he's able to fight.
Moving on to the next, PRX faced Gen.G, and boy oh boy, Gen.G is looking like they're back. After a tumultuous roster shuffling throughout the season, they finally found the lineup that can absolutely dominate the entire VCT scene. The way they dismantled PRX and MIBR was otherworldly, like they were playing in a different dimension. And honestly, it's probably a blessing in disguise that PRX have already faced Gen.G. Now they've got tape, time, and a target if that rematch ever comes. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We all know PRX still has G2 up next, and that's a beast of a matchup, but more on that later in the video. And then finally, we have their do-or-die match against Liquid, a heart attack in match form. PRX were up 12-8 on split and just couldn't close it out. But they came back swinging, dominated Sunset 13-5 and looked unstoppable on Lotus. Until they weren't. Liquid had other plans. They clawed back round by round with their own 11-1 half to force overtime. It was all sorts of drama because you could hear the cries and feel the pain of PRX fans worldwide. This wasn't about to be just a heartbreak. This was the final boss of Heartbreaks. Alex was ultra malding.
We've lost the match. We've lost the match.
And Mind Freak looked like he'd just seen a ghost.
Has thrown away what seemed like.
And it felt like we were about to witness the collapse of the year. Thankfully, the boys in pink found their footing in overtime. They capitalized on every mistake and none bigger than Pati Whiff.
Drifts out, shot, flying, how to take down the 10, goes for the fight, and for
that infamous whiff is a godsend for PRX and a soul crusher for Liquid. I don't know if his finger slipped or if the pressure got to him, but he gave up his position,
drifts out, shot,
missed 2 or 3 shots before Forsaken even fired back. When he picked again, Forsaken didn't miss. Oh, the nerves the big stage gives you. Even the best can crumble under the lights. PRX rode that momentum into the final round, working the map with perfection. They showed presence everywhere, but it all ended on A. Liquid were steps behind. By the time they realized, the spike was already down. Forsaken and the gang was already waiting for their arrival. And after that, the rest is history. Pretty sure you already know what happened next.
Just buy some time. The push is coming in. Forsaken collecting two. Divide finding another. Nance has fallen. And it's all on Kiko's shoulders. The 1v3, not to be found.
Forsaken stood up, then collapsed right back into his chair. He was tired, spent, done. That was Forsaken. But also literally every PRX fan in existence. It wasn't their cleanest showing, but a win is a win. I'll admit, early on, my biggest concern was PatMen folding under those international stage jitters. But after what we've seen across all 3 matches, man's not just settled in, he's thriving.
Gorgeous to come through from PatMen.
From one clutch to another to his composure in the chaos, PatMen didn't blink. If anything, he's embracing the bright lights. And speaking of players absolutely showing out, Jingg's timings across the whole Swiss stage were borderline illegal. Whether it was Raze, Omen, or whatever agent he locked, he kept finding gaps that had no business being there. Every side hit felt like a magic trick. Now you see him, now you're dead. PRX didn't just take space, they owned it. And Jinggg was leading the charge with zero fear and insane precision. And honestly, the PRX train isn't just rolling, it's swerving off the tracks, then somehow drifting back on just in time for the next round. One moment they're flattening Heretics like it's personal, the next they're getting humbled by Gen.G, and then clawing their way through a cardiac-inducing win over Liquid. It's not dominance, but it's beautiful. High-octane chaos, and somehow it's working. Because of course it is. It's the PRX way after all. But I always end up inserting in a but.
What did he say?
That next mountain isn't just any hill. It's G2. The final boss of structure, discipline, and terrifying retakes. It's like the complete opposite of what PRX is. And hey, for all of you out there still whispering about me jinxing PaperX, it looks like the PRX train is still rolling just fine, you know. They're out here brushing off the curse like it's just another eco round. So yeah, let's keep that energy coming.
Let's fucking go.
G2 next? Yeah, alright, you know what?
G2.
I keep calling them a mountain, right? Then maybe it's time to see what happens when an unstoppable train meets an immovable peak. One's gonna break, and it sure as hell isn't the one painted pink.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Alright, before you start throwing tomatoes at me, relax. There's just no way in hell that I am a Jinx. And for what it's worth, we haven't even seen G2 yet. Who knows what they're gonna look like without Tejo, right? If anything, PRX is battle hardened, while G2 has been chilling in the VIP lounge. While G2 has been chilling in the VIP lounge, sipping smoothies and watching the Swiss stage like it's a Netflix drama. So let me ask you, when that train finally crashes into the mountain, who actually has the advantage? G2 is that mountain everyone's afraid of, but right now, that mountain's made of paper. Expectations, predictions, power rankings, all hype. But they haven't been tested yet in the new meta. I'm not saying they won't be a tough opponent, but right now, there are big question marks hanging over them. And paper favorites, they don't always win tournaments. They were the favorites in Bangkok too, and we all saw how that turned out.
Trent, he's out at safety. He's desperately trying to get it done. And he's just managed to do it.
At the end of the day, PaperX are up against a tough opponent. But win or lose, they'll bring the chaos, the excitement, and that fearless Valorant that fans live for. They don't need to be the tournament favorites when they're already the people's champs. So yeah, maybe the mountain ahead looks scary, but if there's one team that'll full send straight through it and plant the spike on top, it's gotta be W Gaming. Anyway, that's it for the video. Quick shout out to Polash Peripherals for their Valorant Masterclass designed for absolute beginners. If you made it this far, let's enjoy the PRX train as long as it lasts. Leave a like if you enjoyed, hit that sub button so you don't miss out, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.